Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate an angle to the race we might look back on later as having been a path to finding the winner. Well, a mixed meeting at Sha Tin on Sunday, and the first race we're going to have a look at is on the dirt. It's race 3 and our winning factor, the trainer. Now this is a rare Class 1 on the dirt, although most of the runners are eligible for Class 2. And a really competitive event this, despite being a bit of a roundup of the usual suspects. I think you can make a case for pretty much every runner to some extent, which doesn't happen often, so this is wide open. That said, Handsome 12 has won 3 of his last 4 starts, and I think he'll be the favourite in the race. So let's have a look at his latest offering. This is race 279, and he has gate 1 white sleeves, yellow and blue stripes, while the grey horse with the pink colours is another of Sunday's rivals, Chan Cheng Prince. Both are prominent out of the gates early, especially the grey, who, as usual, going a bit keenly, and he goes on and finds the lead, while Handsome 12 tucks away behind him in the trail in about 4th or 5th. Now, Chan Cheng Prince, well, he runs them along early, and then even when he tries to steady mid-race, he doesn't get a lot of peace from his rivals with another runner coming around to take it up to him. So he is softened up before the straight, and Handsome 12, he pops out from the trail, comes to get him, and that proves a decisive side of the race. Now there is a big weight turnaround this time in favour of Chan Cheng Prince, so that certainly gives the grey an opportunity to turn the tables, but I think at this stage we can't really talk about dirt racing in Hong Kong without reference to Handsome 12's trainer, Benno Yeung. Now I've taken a look back here at 5 years of dirt racing, back to September 2017, 5.5 years if you like. And if we look at those results, by most metrics, Frankie Law, who has 2 runners in Sunday's race, King's Shield and Everyone's Delight, is the king on this surface, while Benno Yeung is his major competitor. But when we take a look at the current season, Benno is having a breakout campaign. He's winning almost 1/3 of the dirt races for the current season, miles ahead of his rivals and ahead of market expectations, so much so that if you've been blindly level staking Benno's dirt runners this season, you have more than doubled your money, and you can't say that about trainers too often. As for the map of the race, even with a smallish field, I think we'll get a truly run affair with a number of possible leaders. You do get exceptions, certainly when King's Shield won a very slowly run dirt mile in October. That was a surprise to see the tempo crawl that night, but these races are more often truly run, and if Telecom Fighters and or King's Shield wants to run them along here, Chan Cheng Prince might even get a chance to sit behind, or he could go forward and lead again. In any case, it looks a decent speed, so the handicaps are going to come into play. And that gives the lightweights Chan Cheng Prince and Handsome 12 an edge in my view. But the tip in race 3, Handsome 12, his winning factor, the trainer. Handsome 12 is having a great season, but not nearly as good as his trainer, Benno Yeung, and that's what swings the decision in my view. The other race I want to take a look at for Sunday is race 8, where our winning factor is the map. Now this is a new race on the calendar, although it looks a standard Class 3 in many respects. It is restricted to one age group, 4-year-olds, and is thus a new designated lead-up to the Classic Mile in 3 weeks' time over the same distance. So there will be significance to this race on that score, and the obvious chances are the almost faultless Sweet Encounter. Majestic Colour made a great Hong Kong debut, and horses like Bonza Perla, Viva Chaleur, Gallant Waking, and even the likes of Find My Love and the curious entry Drombeg Banner will have caught the eyes of a few fans in their limited exposure in Hong Kong so far. So first of all, let's look at the top weight Sweet Encounter, the likely favourite for the race. This is his latest run. It's race 238 on International Days in Gate 2 with purple colours. And Sweet Encounter was up to 1800 metres for the first time here, and in a race that you see on the heat map was quite truly run. He's handy to the lead as usual, camped behind the leader Champion Dragon in the run to the home straight, and Zach Purton always has him comfortable, and he turns for home going easily and puts them away well and goes to the line, perhaps with still a bit more to give. Now later the same day, over 1400 metres, we had a pretty solid Class 2 go around, and we're going to take a look at that. It's race 242, Viva Chaleur in the old Viva Pataka colours, red and navy blue halves in gate 13, and he goes back early, as does Eason in the pink, also in this race on Sunday. Now the first half was soundly run, but the leader's steady rounding the circle and the field packs up, and as a result both Eason and particularly Viva Chaleur have traffic problems in the first half of the straight. Derek Lung finally gets clear on Viva Chaleur in the last 150 metres, and he finishes well for a close fourth. Was he unlucky not to win there? I'm not convinced. I think there was an element of flattery to that run because the leaders were stopping quickly over the final stages. Nevertheless, Viva Chaleur should have finished closer and has now run two terrific races in his only two appearances in Hong Kong. The other replay I want to take a look at is race 278, gate 7 in the Werther colours, predominantly yellow. We see majestic colour. Now this is his first start in Hong Kong. He begins okay, pushes forward for replacement jockey Alex Lai with just a steady sort of pace on. He's box seated to the turn, doesn't go around a horse and sticks on well in the sprint home after pretty much all favours in the run, but still a solid debut third in Hong Kong. Now I think he can improve on that effort. He gets a jockey upgrade to Karis Teton this time, but I think the key factor to this race is how the pace turns out, how the map actually turns out, because quite a number of the horses I've mentioned as chances are going to get back. So let's take a look at the map. And I'm sure we're going to see Sweet Encounter and majestic colour near the lead again. But as I mentioned, the likes of Bonza Perla, Viva Chaleur, Find My Love, Gallant Waking, all have been either ridden quietly or simply got back as moderate beginners in their races lately, and also have wide gates thrown in here as well. So I think they're going to be giving away a bit of a head start. However, I'm not sure this race is going to be quite as slowly run as it looks at first glance. Now, I mentioned the curious engagement here of former Irish sprinter Drombeg Banner, and he could be a crucial element to this 1600 metre race. Now, his only Hong Kong race was over 1200 metres, and he was very prominent there, showing plenty of pace to be with the lead in a fast tempo. On that evidence, I expect to be able to lead here for apprentice Angus Chung, who, by the way, figures to lead on almost every ride he has on Sunday. With Drombeg Banner and widely drawn Publicist pressing forward early, this race might be run a little more truly than many expect. But the tip in race 8, Sweet Encounter, his winning factor, the map. Even if this race is more slowly run than I expect, then that's only going to help the on-pace horses like Sweet Encounter. But if there is more speed on, they'll still be well in front of many of their major rivals, him and Majestic Colour. And I think the John Size horse just has an edge. Well, that's it from the winning factor for this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.